Every new NBA season represents an opportunity for players to step into new roles, take on increased responsibility, and show off another aspect of their game. For me, one of the most exciting parts of the offseason is predicting which players are going to take a step and how big that step will be. For today's video, I picked 5 guys that I've identified as breakout candidates for this upcoming NBA season. Starting off, we have Boston Celtics guard Payton Pritchard, who in my opinion has been one of the league's most underrated players for a few years now. He's a guy whose career has been somewhat stunted by his role on a very good team. If you transplanted him onto a weaker roster, he would easily be a starting guard. And this season, Boston's cost-cutting shakeup will present Payton with a golden opportunity. After shipping off Drew Holiday and bringing back Anthony Simons, Boston's starting guard spot has never been more uncertain. On the surface, one would assume it's Anthony Simons' job to lose, but I wouldn't be so sure about that. Pritchard is coming off a season where he averaged 14.3 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 3.5 assists on a very impressive 63% true shooting. It was good enough to secure him 6th Man of the Year, and you might be thinking, well, if he's the best 6th man in the league, why change his role at all? Well, according to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, Boston has been actively shopping Simons since acquiring him, signaling that they have no intention on making him their long-term point guard. And that's where Pritchard comes in. The 27-year-old has more than shown that he's a capable guard over the last 2 seasons. He's played over 30 minutes in 47 games over the last 2 seasons, and in those games, he put up 19, 5, and 5 on 51, 43, 88 splits. In the East, those are legitimate all-star numbers. Look for Pritchard to make the most of this opportunity this season, as I predict he'll be the starting guard by December and put up career numbers next to backcourt pal Derek White. For my second choice, I'm going with Detroit's Jaden Ivy, who's returning to action after suffering an injury last season that prematurely ended what looked like a breakout campaign. Prior to his injury, Ivy was averaging 17.6 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 4.4 assists on 46, 40, 73 splits. By all accounts, he was looking like the dynamic, twitchy guard that he was projected to be, and I'm confident that he'll hit the ground running this season. With certain players not returning to Motown this season, star guard Cade Cunningham will need as much shooting around him as possible. Ivy took 5 threes per game last season and hit an impressive 40% of them. With Malik Beasley no longer in the picture, look for Ivy to increase his 3-point attempts to compensate. If Ivy can take close to 8 threes per game next season, I could see him eclipsing the 20-point per game mark fairly easily. He will be leaned on as a secondary creator next to Cade, and he will likely benefit from the defensive attention that Cade elicits. Ivy was cleared to resume basketball activities 3 months ago and has been training like a madman ever since. He's my dark horse MIP candidate, and he should be a major factor in Detroit's success this season. Staying in the Eastern Conference, I have high hopes for Miami's Kel'el Ware this season. As a rookie this past season, he averaged 9.3 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 0.9 assists, starting 36 of the 64 games he played in. Entering this season, Ware will slot in as a full-time starter next to Bam Adebayo on a Heat team that is still expecting to compete in a weakened Eastern Conference. In the games he started last season, Ware averaged a double-double and 2 stocks a game. At just 21 years old, Ware already has a mature NBA body and has no issues going to war in the paint with other large centers, which should pair perfectly with the roaming rim protection of Bam Adebayo. His role offensively this season should be fairly simplified, with most of the creation responsibility going to Bam and Tyler Hero. Where his 7'4.5" wingspan gives him a great catch radius, and I could see him cashing in on a lot of easy baskets off of lobs and putbacks. I expect Ware to comfortably average a double-double this season and to very quickly stamp his name among some of the best bigs under 25 years old. Heading over to the Western Conference now, I have Utah's Bryce Sexton. Fresh off a 37-point performance in Summer League, Bryce will enter this season among a glut of young, talented players vying for starter minutes in yet another development season for the Jazz. Last season, Bryce put up 11 points, 3 rebounds, 1.5 assists in just 20 minutes a game while shooting 42% from 3. Coming into his 3rd season, Bryce has pushed himself ahead of lottery picks Taylor Hendricks and Cody Williams with his impressive shot making and his very much needed 3-point shooting. I expect an increased opportunity to be there for Bryce this season, as the Jazz have shed most of their veterans to make minutes available for their young core. Perhaps the biggest threat to Bryce's breakout this season is 5th overall pick Ace Bailey, who operates in a similar zone on the floor. There might not be enough room for 2 tough shot takers on the floor at the same time, but Bryce's ability to step up beyond the arc should make the pairing tenable. My final breakout candidate is Chicago Bulls sophomore forward Matas Buzelis. Matas had a really strong finish to his rookie season, averaging 13 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 1.8 assists over the last 3 months of the season. At 6'10", his blend of fluid athleticism and shot-making versatility is already drawing comparisons to Orlando's Franz Wagner. Entering this season, I expect his usage rate to tick up as the Bulls look to make him more of a focal point of their offense. My belief in Mattis as a breakout candidate does ultimately come down to his intangibles. Last month, head coach Billy Donovan highlighted his work ethic, saying, "He wants it so damn bad, the kid pushes so hard." And you see that on the floor too, but it's the quiet moments when you see him work. He's wildly intense about getting better and improving. Shifting into a number one role is rarely smooth and there will be some hiccups. But overall, I predict that Mattis will average in the high teens and stamp his name as the top dog in this iteration of the Bulls. Well, those are my picks for breakout candidates in this upcoming season. Let me know what you think, leave a like, please subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.